everyone, this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. So today is just a vlog and I'm going to be creating what is my favorite part about Thanksgiving dinner. First of all, Thanksgiving dinner is my favorite meal. I can eat it anytime because that's how much I love it. But the one thing about Thanksgiving that I really love is either the stuffing or dressing, whatever you want to call it. Whether you're sticking it into the turkey or you're making it on the side. I grew up, my mom always put it inside the turkey, so we've always called it stuffing, and I still call it stuffing even though now we make it on the side. But anyway, I want to recreate that, but I cannot have carbs, I can have bread. I have to, lower that for myself. So what I've decided to do is try to see what I can do instead of using breadcrumbs for my recipe. And I was eating some of my favorite chicharrones, which are pork rinds, and I like to cook them up sometimes in a little bit of a tomato broth, a little bit of onions and things like that, and then they get a little soft and kind of chewy. Sometimes I add some eggs to them. That's just like a traditional kind of typical Mexican breakfast. So that's why I like to cook them. So I was thinking, how can I make myself a stuffing or a dressing and have something similar? Now, I've used the pork rinds as a breadcrumb before, so I thought, well, why can't I go ahead and just use it as a crouton, like a little piece of bread? So that's what I'm going to do, because when you do get it in some liquid, it does get soft and chewy, and it just depends on how long you cook it. It could get a little softer than chewy. So that's what I'm going to do. So this could be a complete and utter fail. I had a craving for this and I realized I didn't buy any celery, and I should have bought some celery. But we're going to go ahead and try making this and see how it comes out, and then you guys can put in your comments and let me know what you think and what you would change about it. Now, in the oven right now, I do have 2 turkey thighs that are baking, and I've had them in there for about an hour. I really should have started a lot earlier. I don't know where my mind was at, because I could have had that ready and then used the whatever liquids came out of that to flavor my my stuffing, my dressing. I'm just going to call it stuffing, you guys, because I'm just used to saying stuffing, so that's probably what's going to come out of my mouth. Okay, so anyway, I should have just thought about that. Now, when I was shopping for some of the ingredients, and I didn't think about celery, I thought about turkey broth or a turkey stock, but unfortunately my store doesn't have that. There isn't even like a bouillon or anything with a turkey. They did have like a turkey gravy, and I think I have that. I should pop that out. But anyway, so I went ahead and I grabbed the chicken broth. And I think at the time I did think, well, I'll cook the thighs and see how whatever renders out of them and use that for flavor, but completely forgot about that. They're in the oven now. I don't know when they're going to be done. We're going to check them a little bit longer. I checked them before I started this video, and I turned them over, and we're going to see how much longer they need in the oven. It's just two thighs. It's not any other parts. So, but whenever you have a dark meat and it's with bone in there, it takes a little bit longer. Okay. Aside from that, so I don't have any celery, but I do have onions. I have butter. Sometimes it calls for mushrooms, and I happen to have some mushrooms and onions with, I believe it's parsley in here. And you know what? A lot of, I just looked up a recipe. I want to look up a basic recipe for a dressing because I wanted to see, well, do I even have the ingredients? Why am I doing this now? Should I save the turkey for tomorrow and get the stuff? But no, I want it now, you guys. But anyway, it mentions parsley, and there's some parsley in here, so I thought, oh, well, at least I have that. And then rosemary and thyme were some of the seasonings, salt and pepper. But then I also have my garlic and onion and herb here. I have roasted garlic and herb, and then I have onion and herb. Now, I don't know if you guys put garlic in your dressing or stuffing, but we always have, so I'm going to put that in there. And to make up for the fact that I don't have any celery, I'm going to add these little mini bell peppers. I think they'll add a little bit of a crunch in there, or whatever it is that it needs to substitute that. Of course, there's hardly any flavor in celery, so I think this will probably give it a little bit of a better flavor. Anyway, I'm going to get my, let me see, I need a bowl, you guys, so let me grab a bowl, and I'm going to start cutting or breaking up some of these pork rinds into it. Alright, so I just got this pie dish right here. I recently made a pumpkin pie without a crust, and that was perfect for my diet. And the pie was a hit. I took it over to my parents for them to try also, and they enjoyed it. But I do want to try and make a crust with almond flour, so I may redo that pumpkin pie again. Okay, I'll do the filling the same way, but I think I'm going to try and make the almond crust. Anyway, so I have these pork rinds here, and I'm just going to break them into like little smaller pieces like so. Some of the pieces aren't too big, but I'm going to go ahead and break them a little bit more until I have some small pieces. And there's a fly in here, you guys. Of course. Deep South Texas with our heat and humidity, there's got to be a fly in here. Okay, let's go ahead and keep breaking these up. And I'll come back when this is all what I would think perfect. Okay, so I was already done, but then I decided to do more than what I actually had poured out into here. So I have some more pieces in here, and then I actually threw some bigger pieces back into my bag because I thought, oh, I'll save those for my breakfast tomorrow. Look at my little piggy. I have a little piggy clip, and I hadn't even thought about it, but I use it on my pork rinds. That's the only bag clip that I have, so it's not like, oh, I planned it out. That's what I happen to have. And I have two of them. I just don't know what happened to the other one. Okay, it's probably on some bag way in the back of my pantry. Okay, so here we go. This is good, I think. We'll see. Okay, maybe I'm making too much. I don't know. We'll make this much. And this much is, it's about maybe 2 cups of pork rinds. And they're, you know, how small or how big you cut them up if you decide to do this. I think it's going to be delicious regardless. Okay, so in case you're curious, what am I going to serve this with besides obviously my turkey thighs? I've got some steamable Texas style green beans here. These have a little bit of, they have butter, and it says real bacon pieces in there. So that'll be yum. And that just needs to be steamed, so I'm cheating here all the way. If this was an actual Thanksgiving dinner, of course I would make everything from scratch, but I am completely cheating because I just want this to be something quick. And because, you know, I love it and I want to have it often, and I don't always have the chance to make everything from scratch. But anyway, I've got these mashed cauliflowers, which say roasted garlic, and we had these like on the weekend with some what do we have? Brisket, I think. Yes. But I ended up adding more butter and more garlic to them, so I added more seasoning to them. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've already rinsed these off, so I just want to cut them up into little bits to put into my saute pan, because I'm going to saute the onions and mushrooms here, and it's all like mixed together. I would prefer to start, you know, sauteing the onions first, and then, you know, the rest of it, but it's all mixed. And I had pulled out an onion because I thought, oh, I'm going to use an onion, but then I remember that I had this, and I better use it before it goes bad on me, because I did buy it on the weekend on Saturday, and it's already Thursday, so I better just cook that up. So I'm trying to make whatever's in my fridge. So instead of going out and buying more ingredients, because then I'll end up buying more food, I'm just going to use what I have. So just get creative if you're doing what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. Let's remove all of this parts on the inside, and then I'll just I cut them in half, but now I'm just going to do like little bits like that. Kind of chunky, maybe a little rustic here. Maybe some of these pieces are too big. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I'll cut them in half again. So quarter them, and then cut just little chunks like that. There is a fly that's really bugging. You know what? I'm going to put a paper towel over my pork rinds, because that would be attracting. Oh, here's a napkin, little cloth here. I'll put that over that. Okay, that'll weigh that down, so make sure it doesn't create a little area where the fly can actually go in. Okay. Anybody have any ideas on how to control this fly situation? Besides, get a fly swatter and smack them. I hate doing that. Don't you all hate doing that? My husband's usually the one that takes care of that, because he can actually go like this and catch a fly. My mother-in-law, He got that from her. And I think my sister-in-law can do that. I don't know if their other siblings can, the two brothers. But he'll just be like this, and then a fly goes by, and then he waits, and he goes like this, and he'll catch it. I don't know. I can't do that. But anyway. So then I had this onion, which I was going to chop up, but then this packet already has some in there. It has red onions. I would prefer to use the yellow, but I'm going to go ahead and just use what's in here and just save this onion. Oh, let me get these off my little board here. Make a little mess right there. That's going to be my little trash area. Now I normally get a little bowl and throw everything in there, but it's already late in the day, guys, and I realized I hadn't started my video and my turkey was not going to be cooked on time, so I can use the liquids from that. So I said, oh well, let's just get started. Let's get started now. Oh look, this is a good recipient for my little bits here. All these little seeds that are otherwise will end up all over my floor, and they probably still will. Okay, so there we go. Oh, you know guys, I said I had gravy, so here's my gravy. So I'm using this roasted turkey gravy, and I don't have any cranberry because it's so weird. That's the one thing that I always think of, cranberry. It's always on the top of my head, cranberry. So like for something like this, when I do, like, it's not Thanksgiving and it's any other time of the year when I want to have a Thanksgiving meal, I buy myself, you know, the little can of jellied cranberry, or sometimes the whole. So it just depends on what I'm feeling like. I don't have any because I forgot to grab that. But I do have this red raspberry preserves. It happens to be sugar-free, so I'm going to use some of that. Why not? Give a little sweetness on the side there. Okay, so this is what I have here. So that's not bad. I like that. Okay, so but what I wanted to do, I wanted to separate the mushrooms from the onions, and I don't think that's going to be able to happen because there's a lot of parsley everywhere. But I want to saute the onions first. So I'm going to attempt. I don't want the parsley to burn, so that's why I'm doing this. Okay, now that I've moved most of those onions out of the way here, I'll just toss that over that way. So it'll take all that parsley with it. Go away, fly. There's nothing here for you. Well, there probably is, but nothing I want to share. Okay. My dog thought I was saying it to her. She was peeking to see what I'm doing. She just ate, but you know, she's a little dog, and those little dogs, they always want something extra. And I only say that because from my own experience, for my little dog, and my mom has 4 Chihuahuas, and it's like, I don't know, they don't have like a signal in their body that tells them, you're done, you're full, you've eaten, you don't eat anymore. They always want some more. And they just, like a big dog, just takes it all in, and where did it go? Who knows? Okay, we're gonna put this aside. Actually, I think I want to chop up some of these. These are bell mushrooms in here, by the way. So I'm probably gonna chop up just a little bit because they do shrink up some in the cooking process. So I'm all over the place, as you can see, but I am creating a recipe, and this is how I do it. This is how I come up with stuff. I do look up recipes, you know, in case, you know, I want to get an idea. Okay, what should I do? And then from there, I change it up for whatever my needs are, or my wants, my cravings. You know, just my personal, you know, flavor, taste. Okay, so I'm just gonna chop these up a little bit here. You know, I just do it inside the. I don't know why I'm not just doing it in here. Try not to cut through the styrofoam. Okay, these pieces aren't too bad. Okay, so I'll put these back in here. Let me get my pan going, you guys. I'm going to use avocado oil. I do have coconut oil too, so I'm kind of like, where should I go? Okay, I have avocado oil. I'll put some of that in my pan. I'm also going to put some butter in there, and I'm going to saute these onions, okay? I'm going to saute these onions and the little bell peppers, actually. And I'm going to use about a tablespoon of this beautiful unsalted, is it unsalted butter? Because I always buy that, but okay, yeah, it is unsalted. Okay, I think last time I was there they didn't have any, and I grabbed the regular. So anyway, unsalted butter, use whatever you want. Get my stove going. I'm going to check my turkey legs as well, because if they're cooked and that broth is good, I'm going to use that for this. Okay, so the thighs, they look done to me. I've already kind of cut into one of them, and the meat looks cooked, and there's lots of broth or little fatty bits of the, hello, Mr. Fly, this is not for you. Anyway, this is looks good to me, but I'm going to keep it in the oven a little bit longer. And I actually looked at the time, you guys, because I had started, the video, but then I stopped, did some things. It's actually been 1 hour and 44 minutes, so it's all, well, let's see. I put them, it was 3:40 when I put the thighs in the oven, and it's 5:44, so that's actually more than 2 hours. 2 hours and 5 minutes. Hello, flies, shoo away. Okay, anyway, so they've been in there for 2 hours. So I'm pretty sure that is good. I'm really sorry. I'm dealing with this fly. Okay, so now I've got my pan started up, and I've added some avocado cooking oil in here. And the reason I went for the avocado instead of the coconut oil is because this has a higher smoking or whatever. You can cook it at a higher temperature than you can coconut oil. And because I'm going to be sauteing, it's going to have to be there for a little longer period of time. So I went with avocado oil, and in there is about maybe 1.5 tablespoons of oil, enough to coat the bottom of my pan. And I'm going to toss in these onions, like I said. There we go. I wanted to hear a sizzle and I didn't hear one, but that's okay. Okay, it's sizzling now. Let me cover up my mushrooms and my butter. Okay, so I'm going to saute that. I'm going to add the butter a little bit later. I don't want that to burn. Okay, this is how unprepared I am, you guys. I'm going to leave this in the video. Okay, I need a spoon. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use my spurtle with little openings in there. Oh, and I use this to check my turkey, so now I gotta wash it because I don't have a fly landed on it. You know what? There's actually 2 flies in here. I'm almost certain because I could have sworn I saw one go like that and then another follow, and I never saw this. So I'm thinking there's 2 flies in here. Yay, this is my vlog, you guys. Real life happening in front of you. You guys, I'm sauteing my my onions, and as you know, they were in a package with the bella mushrooms and the parsley. So there's little bits of, the little dark bits of the mushroom, that little fanny part, a little underneath the little cap, that little filter looking part, little dark brown pieces, just like little bits, like even this one on my cutting board. And because there's a fly in here, I keep thinking, did a fly get in my onions? So I'm like looking at it real carefully. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this has been sauteing for a couple of minutes now, and my onions are getting, they're getting browned. I don't want them to burn. And then I've also taken the thighs out and drained all the liquid that was at the bottom. At this point, if you do this ahead of time, you could let this cool off and then just skim off any fat that's on there, or just use it, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to take now this beautiful mushrooms and parsley and my butter. Put that in there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put this in there too. I should have gotten my convention, what is it? Is it convention? Convection. I don't know anymore. I should have got my little cooktop, put it here instead. Okay, so now that I've sauteed the mushrooms a little bit, it's been about a minute, not really that long. I'm going to go ahead and take my pork rinds and go ahead and add them in there, because after all, this is my main ingredient and I was already forgetting about it. So I'm going to put that right in there, and then I can actually put all that back in here, and then I can put it in the oven. So I'm going to get that. Let me stir them around a little bit. Whoop. Okay. One got sacrificed to my doggie, and she'll be here shortly because she's over there looking at it. But I know something fell. Okay, so now To this, I am going to add, and how much broth did I end up with? It's just under a cup. So let me add some chicken broth to make 2 cups of liquid, and then I'll see if I need more. Whoa, that's glop, glop, glopping a lot. Okay. There we go. So now I've got 2 cups. Oh, I stepped on the pork rind. Okay. All the flavorings and seasonings that I put on the turkey with little chunks of, I used this one, the roasted herb and garlic on it. So all the little bits were at the bottom there, so they were the last that kind of poured out. So that gives it that flavor in there. Oh my gosh, you guys, this smells incredible. And it looks incredible. Now, if you don't like pork rinds, you might be thinking, oh, but you know what, my husband didn't like pork rinds either. He didn't like any idea of any pork, actually. But my bag is out here, my pork rinds are out here because it's the one thing that I can snack on. I can't eat regular chips. Well, you know, I'm cutting on that, so that's why I can't have it now because, oh, that's a medical reason. But anyway, well, I guess it could be a medical reason. Anyway, but he'll grab some, you know, just to kind of like, what do you call that word? It's just a little appetizer because he's hungry and he's just, to curb his appetite, okay? There we go. You know, I can speak English, you guys. I'm actually very good at it. But when I'm doing a video, for whatever reason, I forget my words. Or maybe it's just because I'm getting older. But I know them. I can't say them. Does that remind you of anybody? Yourself? Okay, so we're going to let this liquid, some of it was already hot. But I had poured some of the chicken one from the fridge that was cold, so that cooled down a bit of the turkey broth. So I'm gonna let it heat up a little bit more, bubble up a little bit more. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season. Now I'm not gonna season it too much because I don't want too much salt, just a little bit. I had seasoned the turkey, so a lot of that, you know, is in the broth. So get that in there. A little bit of pepper. I know I said a little bit and then I just... Anyway, there we go. What I want is a lot of other flavors. So let me give this a little taste. Let's see. Come here, honey. Little jiggly piece of... Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm doing a happy dance because I think this is going to turn out, oh my gosh, this is going to turn out really good as a substitute for not having actual bread, stuffing, or dressing. This is going to work out. I almost want to use my teeth. Okay, trying to be nice for the video. Okay, this is salt-free Mrs. Dash, or just as a dash. Now I'm choking on the pork rind. Onion and herb seasoning blend. Oh my God, that was so delicious. Let's see, what does this have in it, just for the heck of it? This has dried onion, some spices, black pepper, sweet chili pepper, parsley, basil. Man, my eyes are going nuts here. Bay, I guess bay leaf maybe, marjoram, oregano, savory, whatever that is, thyme, celery seed, mustard, cumin, rosemary, cayenne pepper, coriander, dried garlic, dried orange peel, and natural flavors. That sounds so delicious, everything that's in there. Okay, let's just use this one now. This one I got it from Sam's, and this is a roasted garlic and herb seasoning. Where are the ingredients? Goodness gracious. Unless the ingredients are just that. Oh, dried garlic, it has some salt. Spices, dried sweet red pepper, and then some natural flavors. What are those natural flavors? Tell me. If they're natural, mention them, right? Because we should know. Okay, anyway, it's good stuff, but it does have some salt. I didn't know that. Okay, and then that's not because, oh, I can't have salt. I'm on keto, I can have salt. My husband cannot, so I try not to put too much salt in everything. But again, That doesn't mean that because I'm like, oh, I can't have salt. Excuse me, doesn't mean that I can have a lot of it. You know, I have to be careful. So if something already has salt, why put extra, right? So I'm going to sprinkle some rosemary. I'm kind of breaking it up a little bit like that. The rosemary. This is dry rosemary. I actually have some fresh one out in my garden, and I should have used that. That's probably my husband who was texting me. What's for dinner? Yum stuff. And I'm making a video, so don't walk in here, you know, like you own the place. Ha. Okay, so this is, okay, that was thyme. Okay, that was thyme, and this is the rosemary. And I was thinking, why is it so soft? Now, you know, because you know, rosemary is, you know, the little pine bits, and they're like little needles. So it's an evergreen. I don't know if it's in the pine family, but it's certainly pokey. You know, the little bits, because you know, they're dry. So that's what they remind me of. They remind me of pine and needles. Okay, well, I'm going to flavor that with that, and then I'll taste it again later. And this is not going to even take long at all, because you know what, guys? My pork rinds are nice and soft. So now I'm going to go ahead and put them in a pan. But let me go ahead and take care of my little text call and clean up a little bit here. Okay, so I went ahead and the mashed cauliflower that I told you about, that's easy to make in the microwave. So I've got that going right now in the microwave. So you might be hearing this little sound in the background, in addition to whatever other sounds there is in my home. And then I've got the green beans here on the a little skillet. They go in the microwave too. They actually steam, but I decided to put them in a little pan, and I'm just gonna like saute them around. So I've got them on a low right now to get them to kind of melt, because they're not melted. I should have done that way ahead of time, but I didn't. So anyway, I've got this pan that I crumbled up the pork rinds in, and I'm going to just put this yummy concoction, and I'll show it to you up close, because it looks so good, you guys. It looks really, really good. Okay, well, maybe, I don't know what your opinions are, but it looks so good to me. And I'm a visual person, so if something doesn't look good, I'm like, no. But to me, this looks nice. Let me move some of these bell peppers on top so it look extra pretty to you. Okay, let's see. I'll push that in so it looks nicer. There we go. Okay. So, there we go. That's what it's looking like. So I'm going to put it in the oven now. And I don't know for how long, but I have it at 400, but I'm going to lower the temperature to 350. And I think I'm going to put that in there, you know, 5-7 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. I'll check it, but we'll go with 5 to 7 minutes for now at 350 degrees, and I'll take the turkey thighs out because they're done. Okay, that's it. So I'll be back when this is out of the oven. All right, so here is my dressing out of the oven. That looks really good, you guys. Let me hold it up. It's super hot. But there it is, looking beautiful. So I think I need to take a picture of it, and then we're going to go ahead and plate it. I've got my turkey thighs here. I've got some green beans there, my cauliflower mash, and some gravy. I poured some gravy into a little glass here, and I microwaved that just to heat it up because I don't need the whole jar. And then of course I've got some raspberry. I prefer cranberry, but I've got raspberry. My husband pointed out that we do have some blueberries that I could have maybe have done a little blueberry sauce. But anyway, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have this. We're going to enjoy it. I only wish I had some cornbread. So that's going to be my only guilty thing. Well, yeah, because I'm going to make my crustless pumpkin pie, and I'm going to have probably the tiniest sliver of a pecan pie, unless I can figure out a way to make that that's keto friendly. So that might be my next recipe. Okay, so but I do want to do a pumpkin pie with an almond crust. So I want to try that. I don't know if I should do it or if I should wait till Thanksgiving. I have no idea what I should do. But anyway, because I don't want to make too many sweet things between then and now, because I've already gotten myself accustomed to eating a certain way, and I don't want to overload myself with too much, because then Christmas comes along. So the only cheat that I think I will definitely do is going to be some cornbread, because I'm going to want to have some cornbread. All right, let me take pictures. I'll serve this up, and then I'll give it a taste, and we'll see how it all really, really is, because I already tasted it, you guys. It's delicious, but just so that you can see me and see my expression. That was my cat. Okie dokie, let's serve this up. Oh, it smells so good. Had to give it another little woof or whiff. A wolf. I'm so hungry, guys. I feel like a wolf. I'm gonna woof this up, you guys. Okay, is that enough or more? Okay, we're just gonna pretend that that's all I'm gonna eat. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna serve myself. Because look at this big old turkey thigh. My mouth is watering. Oh my gosh. I put a little bit of the gravy over it. I love the skin and everything. My husband's probably gonna remove that part off and just eat the meat. But, you know, it's okay. I feel like the skin, you know, because it gets really crispy, it's actually like a little treat. Let me have some of that turkey first, because, my goodness, that fly. There it goes again. Sorry about that. Okay, let's have this with a piece of pork rind, some mushroom, and some onion in my bite here. Because I tasted the pork rind and it was delicious. And then I tasted it again after I had seasoned it. I told you I was going to taste it again, and the seasoning was fine. I didn't have to do any adjusting. Oh, goodness. All right. You know the little bite of that little bell pepper? I got that at the end. And just kind of squirt it onto, you know, the pork rind and the onion that I was still chewing on. And that was the topper. I think if it had some celery, it would absolutely be delicious. But guys, this is absolutely great. I really like it. It does satisfy my need for some dressing on the side, because I really gotta have that. I'm getting some more, but I'm putting a little bit of this little raspberry preserves here on there as well, because I like to do that when I'm having my Thanksgiving meal. Everything's separate, but then I get a little bit of everything on my fork and taste it all together. My goodness, Mr. Fly. My husband is here, but he's outside watering the plants. And I forgot to tell him, get that fly. Happy dance, happy dance. You guys, this is going to be great for me. I'm very satisfied with this. I will say this. It does not like completely, it doesn't take over not having a breadcrumb dressing or stuffing. But it is so delicious. It's a great substitute. If you've already gotten yourself used to, you're not eating any carbs, or you are still having some sort of carbs, but you've cut down, you're having keto or whatever you're doing, then this is a great substitute. And I'm going to recommend it, and I want you to try it if you're following the same eating habit that I'm doing, which is keto. If you want to try that. So there we go, you guys. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to eat this whole thing up. I feel like I'm going to put a little bit extra on here because, you know, it's really good. The rest of it actually would be absolutely delicious as a side for really anything, with some fish or a steak or chicken, whatever. I think I might even want this for my breakfast, because it's pretty much got everything that I would put in it at breakfast, except I don't put any mushrooms in there. And maybe my seasonings are a little bit different. Why not with a little fried egg on the side? Oh, or eggs over easy. And this, you know, on the side. Absolutely delicious. All right, everyone. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. And I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. And like I asked you earlier, please leave a nice comment down below. Let me know what you think. What would you change? Have you tried something like this? Or are you going to try it? Because you really have to. I'm telling you, you have to try this. I want to put more in my mouth. Okay, so I want to thank everybody who has been subscribing. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscription button, the little red subscribe button, and then you'll see a little bell. Hit that little notification bell so you'll get notified of when I put videos, which is twice a week. So I hope that you enjoyed my little vlog and my experimentation on my created recipe here, and share on your social medias, you guys. And as always, here we go. Enjoy.